Welcome to the Open Perspective, everyone. I'm your co-host, David, along with John.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going?
Chilling. How you doing?
I'm all right. It's been a little too long since we've done this.
It's been a minute, huh? About a month.
It's a little rusty. Have to set everything back up. Trying to make adjustments that don't even need to be made.
Yeah, well. It's the beauty of having a home recording studio, huh?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Home recording studio that has now become my wife's work from home office. So it has to be transformed into a studio every time I decide to do this.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No,
that's the difference.
Didn't realize that. Oh,
Gotta
well.
find all my stuff and hook it all up. And
You have room for like two
all that.
desks?
No, because there's like a
Oh,
sofa. There's like a sofa, which is a sofa bed.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a table for my kids to work on.
Oh,
do
yeah.
their schoolwork on. There's all kinds of stuff going on in this room.
This is my room.
So, yeah.
This is my room. No one comes in here.
Until your wife has a need for it.
No.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
It's been too long.
It's a lot happening.
I feel like I've been extremely busy doing a lot. There's a lot going on in the world. So we're just here to talk.
Dude,
John and I need to catch up, even though we're going to see each other in a few days.
4 days?
So
4 days
Yeah.
or so? I don't even know if I'm ready.
I know I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. My head hasn't been, I don't know if, nobody knows other than you. Like, it's been a crazy car week for me personally, trying to figure out
Yeah.
car stuff. But yeah, it's, so at least I have a little bit of car stuff back in my head for the last week and a half. But
Right.
I don't know. Crazy car week for me.
Yeah.
Who has their, we have a Prius and catalytic converter got jacked last week. So I never really shared it with anyone other than you. Actually, you're the only one I told.
I just don't understand the whole, let me steal catalytic converters.
It's quick money, dude. In and out, 30 seconds, right?
So I actually didn't tell you this, but my truck's lifted, so I always think about catalytic converters because I'm like, you wouldn't even need to jack it up if you wanted to take the catalytic converter.
Right.
So it's something I think about often. And if you've ever been in my house, the window to the living room, the front living room in my house is a pretty big window.
Right.
So you can see a lot outside. My wife always has the blinds open, lighted, and all that. And so I'm chilling in the back living room, and my wife's like, "Are you expecting anyone?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Well, these dudes just pulled up in front of the house, and they're just there."
Oh, shit. Okay.
So on my block, you don't really do that. Like people that know me, I've lived here long enough that people don't stop in front of my house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless it's someone I know. So I'm like, "Oh, someone stopped in front of my house." Okay. So I walk outside. I'm approaching the car to ask them if I can help them with something. Both the dudes in the car look at me,
Uh-huh.
kind of like, "Oh shit," and then drive off. So for me, I'm like, what the fuck was that about?
Right.
So then I start following these dudes. Like I jump in my car and I start following them. And then they're trying to dodge me, obviously.
Right.
So I'm like, why are they trying to dodge me if they weren't doing anything wrong?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, this is all very suspicious. So I just follow them for a while into multiple different parking lots. I'm not trying to hide the fact that I'm following them. I want them aware of
Right.
You stop in front of my house and look suspicious. Now I'm going to follow you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, long story short, locally there was I guess some catalytic converter jackings, and they caught someone on video or whatever.
Right.
And I saw the snippet and I'm like, dude, this looks kind of like the dudes that I followed the other day.
Right.
So I'm like, man, these dudes are probably scoping my truck out. Like, look, this shit's high. We can take it easily. What they don't know is that my truck is literally parked next to my bedroom window all the time with my window open. So the second that you would try to approach my driveway, my dogs start barking,
Right,
and then
right,
I
right.
wake up. You know
Right.
what I mean? So to me, it's like whether you have to jack it up or not, I'm gonna hear you.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right, right. I didn't hear it,
but
man. And that pisses me off.
I know. And so what I'm getting at is I know that you're angry that you didn't hear it, but I feel like it's almost better that you didn't hear it.
Hey, where's John at? Oh, he caught a case again.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's, but I mean, these cats are doing it in broad daylight. They did mine at 4 in the morning, and I'm usually awake, and I normally
Right.
sleep lightly, you know. But like,
Yeah.
nah, that night I was hot, man. I was like that whole day I was just grumpy. I didn't want to talk to anybody because I was like, man,
Yeah.
someone
Yeah.
hit us for that, and it was quick. And I showed you the video. I think you saw the video. They were just in and out on my steep ass
These
driveway.
dudes, these dudes work for NASCAR, bro.
Yeah. And they didn't have shitty tools either. I couldn't tell what jack they had, but
No, I was trying to figure out how they had the stuff that they had. I was like,
yeah.
this is too good of equipment to just be stealing cats.
They unbolted the cat
But
first
I mean,
and then cut the rear off.
with the whole, jacking stores and shit, they probably jacked their tools too.
Yeah. Wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they get a couple $100 for each one they get. How many, you get 15 in a night, you know? And they don't it seems like they only hit on weekdays. So, we sleep, I sleep pretty lightly. And I usually, like I said, as soon as somebody walks up through the driveway, I wake up. And that's not the first time that this has happened. Someone
Right.
tried.
Right.
And each time someone has like walked up to the driveway, my phone wakes me up. Because the only alert that goes through at night is my driveway. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Everything else is silenced. I don't need to hear emails or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's crazy. The snippet you showed me, they're doing that shit in daylight, broad daylight,
Yeah, I was like at the Lakewood Mall.
and with a car
seems
that's
so weird.
with a car that's like customized, so it's easily recognized.
Yeah, very easily recognizable.
So,
So,
at least
I don't know.
out here, when these cats get caught, they're in cars that are jacked, so they're untraceable.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
Damn, that's crazy.
hey, folks are hurting, so they gotta do what they gotta do, I guess. Just
I was reading something earlier that said something about like the normal income. Talking about people hurting, like it just makes me think. It says like the normal income right now to just be able to afford rent,
yeah,
for most like areas is like $100K.
right.
And then it says it says something about like 1995 to 2013, on 50K income you couldn't afford to buy a house.
Yeah. It was different.
So it's just like basically trying to say like double the money,
Mm-hmm.
and you can afford to pay rent.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Everyone got greedy, man. All the landlords started asking hella money. I mean, it's like that here. I remember.
I just don't get it though, because I also see the McDonald's signs where it says starting at $15 an hour. I'm like, that shit's crazy. That's like almost 3 times what I made at my first job.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
It's more than 3 times than what I made in my first job. I was getting paid $4 an hour to work in a movie theater when I was my first job.
I want to say my first job, it was like just turned 15. I had a work permit.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Whatever
Yeah.
it's called.
Yeah.
And I want to say I was making $625.
Yeah. See, that was better than me. I was making $4.35. I'll always remember that. Working in a movie theater, getting the homies in though.
I'll always remember that my first job I was making a week. I was like, yo, I could make this in a day working with the homies. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I doing this again?
Right.
But
And I got to report my taxes for this stuff.
yeah,
And I'm
I
getting-
gotta pay the man.
Yeah. No. Why you think it's so easy to just rock a catalytic converter? There's no taxes to that.
I know. Guess we can't all make the right decisions, right?
Nah. Or we are like trying to be legit about it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, how much stuff has happened since we've spoken or recorded? I mean, we speak. Like the whole what you feeling about that whole Will Smith thing?
I was gonna say the only thing I can think of that's happened since we've recorded is the Will Smith thing.
I mean,
it's
I was
quite annoyingly like put out there. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I see more stuff now still about the whole Will Smith thing than any Coachella stuff.
Well, people want they want like closure to this situation.
The Will Smith one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be closure right away though.
I don't think so either. But I just think it's funny how people want closure. You know what I'm saying? They are expecting something out of it.
Yeah. Man.
The sad part, man. I mean, so you can say what you want. Will Smith is my number 2 favorite actor. He has been for a very long time.
Yep.
So I'm a big fan.
Yep.
The night it all happened, I was like, yeah, Cersei right. Don't test the boy. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Then I watched it in its entirety and realized like, oh no, my man was just emotionally distraught.
Yeah. It was brutal. Yeah. It's tough. It's a rough hit. I think it's a rough hit for him personally. I mean, set aside why he did it, just more of like the consequences of what he's doing, you know, what he's gonna go through. So many projects of his are getting canceled, you know.
Are they?
I think so. He had like a Netflix.
I haven't even paid attention.
You know, he had some stuff that was getting, you know, which kind of sucks, you know. Because
So for me, the major thing for me is, in my opinion, the way he's acting is a true sign of a toxic relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When people are in toxic relationships, they always do ridiculous things.
That was a ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
Well, if you weren't watching the Oscars before, you know damn well people are going to be watching again. Even though nothing's going to happen.
The Oscars act like they're mad about it. But
Nah.
they're like, actually, this is doing well for us.
Yeah. Oscars are trending still, right? People still talking about the Oscars. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do agree. I think it is a toxic relationship that created that storm. Feel for the guy.
Yeah. I mean, if you heard that, like, him and Chris Rock beefed it, you know, behind stage, and then Will Smith won smacking shit out of Chris Rock, that would have been a whole different, like, oh, damn, okay.
Yeah, my bad.
But just the whole, like, on national television, I'm just going to, like, interrupt this entire show and walk up on stage after I laughed at a joke that my wife didn't think was funny.
Right.
Like, that's...
I think, yeah. It was a loss of... I always felt like a loss of control of character, too, right? Like...
Yeah,
you know.
but that's the thing. That's something that I really like to address on this podcast is, you know, our goal is to be a specific type of person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Our goal is to have control and to live your life being a good person in this world. You know what I mean? But sometimes you just lose control. You know what I mean? And I think that's the hardest thing to deal with.
Yeah.
Look, you have people who deal with things differently. And some people just seem like they go through life just very like whatever about everything.
Right.
They can literally just, you know, in one ear out the other. Mm-hmm. You know, they just brush everything off. Some people don't, and some people can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why, like, anytime that I do things that I don't want to do, or I blow up, and then afterwards I'm like, damn, what did I just do? It's those moments, right? It's like you lost yourself. Mm-hmm. You weren't able to hold on to it. So after I saw the full-length video, I was like, damn, I feel this dude's pain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, I know what type of person Will Smith is, and he's definitely the type of person that wants to spread love. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't think that's changed within him. I think
how do you sell that now?
And yeah, that's the tough part. I don't know if he can. I doubt it.
It's almost like you should just be like, fuck it and go full like asshole.
Might as well at this point. You already took that corner.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Just be like,
went around the corner.
just angry and like, yeah, angry and just like tripping on people all the time. You know, just, you know, move forward that way.
Yeah. No, yeah. It was rough. I wasn't watching it live when it happened. I was down here in my office doing other things. And I get a text message. And Michelle's like, oh my God, Will Smith slapped the hell out of Chris Rock. I was like, what? I thought it was a stunt. Because no context.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, oh, he slapped Chris Rock. Oh, they're homies, you know?
Well, that's why I didn't know if it was real or not, because it was like a comedian and then Will Smith, who's known for slapping people, and then he slaps the comedian. So it's almost like, okay, what was the context behind this? What were they like trying to show the world? We were at dinner actually, and then it just like everybody's phone started blowing up.
Yeah.
And I guess like, you know, everybody else is on Twitter or whatever, so I guess it went like crazy on Twitter.
Oh yeah, it flew. And then there was people were putting the other broadcasts that weren't censored on Twitter. You know, like
that was the only ones that I saw.
Yeah.
I didn't even see the whole like censored one.
No, you just didn't hear Will Smith yelling. You know, that
yeah. Oh, that was, so the very first snippet that I saw, he just walks up, he's just like laughing, walks up, slaps him, and then walks back.
Yeah, that's one that most people saw first.
And I was like, nah, this ain't real.
Yeah.
And then like 2 minutes go by, and it's like, oh, here's the full length, and then you hear Will Smith yelling, and I was like, oh, nah, he's mad.
You can hear the tone, right?
Yeah. I was like, he's mad.
Yep.
So I was like, damn.
It's funny too. People were like trying to break down that whole sequence. Like they would zoom in on it and like, look, he's wearing like a padding on his face, and look at Will Smith, his like right hand. I'm like, no. Y'all conspiracy theorists have too much time on your hands right now.
Yeah, people are wild, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to see though, like to see what people can come up with. It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't, like I said, I feel he did it out of impulse and just I think he may have got into it with Jada before that, and then it just kind of like blew over. You know how it is. You get into an argument. Who knows? Maybe
he definitely had one of those moments like, yo, my bad for tripping.
Yeah.
Bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure he felt that.
Yeah. And you can see it, right? You see like all of his homies, came up to him and talked to him, afterwards, or like right immediately after. So, I'm kind of glad that he had that.
Not only that, the man came and talked to him, bro.
Yeah.
Denzel Washington, you know what I'm saying? He had to come and tell him something. So I felt like, oh man, if Denzel's talking to you, bro, you fucking up.
Yeah, Denzel and Tyler Perry talking to him.
Yeah.
Both those guys don't fuck around. So.
Right. Right. Damn, dude.
Yeah. Like that whole Denzel quote, I don't even know if it was real. If he really did say that. But.
I mean, he probably said it at some given point in time in his life, but maybe not that
Yeah.
night. That's the other thing, too. I was like, how is this quote from Denzel going more viral than...
Because it was a good quote. I forgot it already.
The whole situation.
It was a good quote. It was a whole thing about like, the devil come for your, highest moment or whatever.
Absolutely.
It's a good quote though.
It's very true.
I thought it was fantastic. I even used it that night on Twitter, so I admit it.
It's the truth. It's when you're doing your best, something will come and drag you back down. That's what I'm talking about. When you're trying to be the best you can be, there's always something that's going to happen that's going to drag you back to your worst.
Crab bucket mentality. Didn't we say that before? You know that yeah. When a crab is trying to get up out of the bucket, the other crabs pull him down.
Yeah.
Crab in the bucket. But no, I feel for him, man. It's because then after that, I don't really, like I said, I kind of mess with Instagram every now and then, and a little bit. Facebook's been annoying the shit out of me, but Twitter's still like my jam. But man, Twitter was just full of like Will Smith memes, and I was like just literally feeling bad for the guy. Everything had to do with
the memes in general, bro, are annoying.
They're getting mean.
It's even more annoying because it's like it's one of those things where it's like right now is not the time to joke about.
Yeah, leave the man alone.
But then they're so good that you like have to laugh.
Mm-hmm. A lot of August memes.
So I just
no, I get it. Yeah. Twitter was on fire that night, man. It was a good time to be on Twitter. everybody was on
Oh,
it.
I
It
bet.
didn't matter like what nationality, what creed, what hood, or what your beliefs in, your orientation. It didn't matter. Everybody was unified for one night. It was great.
Shit.
You know, I mean, people were still you had,
Well, then
huh? Sorry.
you had the arguments of if he was in the wrong for
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
it.
and you had people who kind of like stood up for him, or like, you know what, someone speak about my wife like that, I'm gonna say something. But
That's how I felt.
right, I agree.
But that's also my point. That's also my point. So perfect
Right.
situation, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm the type of person if you say anything
Right.
to or about my wife, oh you know, you're gonna see the worst
Right.
of
Right.
me.
Right. I agree.
But I mean, it all depends on the context, right? Like
Right.
you should honestly just pay attention to the context. But for me, it's like it's just one of those triggers. You know what I'm saying?
But we're not famous like Will Smith is. I think he has a different
Yeah,
threshold.
that's true.
Our threshold isn't
I mean,
that high.
well, that's my point, though. Why do famous people have to have different
Yeah.
thresholds?
Yeah.
Like, I could be the most famous man on this planet, but if you talk about my wife or my kids in a certain way, why does it matter?
Right.
Whatever I do from that point is just me being a husband or a father.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Tabloids, the tabloid industry, I guess, is kind of different now. Be the way the internet is, right? You got people coming up
Yeah.
with fake shit.
I mean,
Spreading like wildfire.
then there's that too, where like I said, if you say anything about my wife, you're gonna get the worst of
Right.
me, right? But then it's like, why do you have to be that way?
Right.
So like the other thing is, I don't know if you read this article that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did. He was talking. He basically wrote like this whole thing about Will Smith.
Oh wow, I need to read that.
After I read that, I was kind of like, okay, it kind of made me feel a different way about Will Smith. But one of the main things that he said was, why are we still in a day and age where like he had to defend his
Right.
wife? If she was bothered, why couldn't she say something?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's true in that situation. It's not like someone's gonna beat her up or someone's gonna hurt her physically.
Right.
So she has the ability to speak for herself.
Right. It's not a physical threat
You know what I mean?
to her.
Right. So, she could have said something and he just stayed quiet.
Right.
And it's a very difficult thing to do. I mean, shit, I'm the person who, it doesn't matter who it is. If it's someone I care about, I'm going to say more than them half the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's just in my nature to just be very defensive for the people that are around me.
I mean, yeah.
But I think that it's true, if she was bothered, she could have said something herself.
Yeah.
She's a human being. Yeah. She has a voice of her own. So
yeah, it's kind of twisted at least his career, and it may have made her career for the better. I don't know, who knows. They also kind of play her as a villain right now too. So
I mean, she kind of is the villain, bro. I'm kind of buying into.
You kind of buying into that she's the villain.
Yeah. No, I think she's definitely. I don't know. I think it's in her nature to trip on him about certain situations.
Probably whoops his ass.
I mean, she probably could. You know what I mean? It's not like she
goes into her, set it off.
Not a capable person. Yeah, you know what I mean? We seen her in
I've
movies.
seen you and set it off. I know how you do it. Nah, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I think Will Smith had a lot to deal with, especially with the whole Tupac thing was coming up again, right? The whole Tupac and Jada.
They brought it up after.
No, but
shit's annoying.
It was around before then, and then you also had the whole August.
But that shit's just dumb. It's just like, all right,
man,
so maybe she wasn't level Tupac, but he died.
He no longer here.
Like he died. There's no. I'm sure it happens a lot in life.
Yeah.
Someone's still in love with the person that they were in love with, and that person passed away, and now they got somebody else that they're not as in love with. I'm sure it happens.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that's there. I mean, it's Pac. Pac's legendary. I don't blame her. Who knows? Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, it just, I feel like at that point for Will Smith, it just kind of changes. Like, is Hollywood gonna fuck with him still?
Did you watch that YouTube series that he did?
No,
It was like about his physical fitness, and then when he wrote the book,
No, I mean we've talked about that. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
he even in that series, you can tell that he's emotionally like all over the
Really?
place, and he trips on the staff. Like he basically is like he comes in one day and he's just like, I'm done. I don't want to do
Oh,
this.
really?
Have a nice day.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
And they're just like, what are you talking about? We've been working at this for like 6 months or whatever
Right.
it was. And he's like, so
I'm done.
I don't want to do this. I'm out.
People get like that
So-
though too. Sometimes stuff just in their head, and it just kind of like, it's like a cloud that's over them, and they just can't get away from it. I mean, that's the whole mental state, right? We talk about how mental state of men nowadays, like how how men are treated.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like in the last year, the things that I've observed about people's mental state. It's kind of mind blowing. Like the difference in how you live your life and the emotions that you go through or the way you feel just based off of how you think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can have two people in the exact same situation.
Right.
Doing the exact same thing. Different mental states, right? Very positive person and a very negative person. Right. Literally living the exact same life. This person's, the positive person's, more things are going to happen for them. The doors are going to open for them. They're going to be very appreciative of everything that's happening and everything's going amazing. Where the negative person is almost shutting all those doors and complaining about every situation that they're in. You know what I mean? And I think that it's just one of those things where we have to like constantly remind ourselves. At least for me, it's like I gotta wake up and just. There's days so I try to pay attention to it, right? And there's days that I've woken up and I'm just like not in the best mood.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they say, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed or whatever.
Right.
I feel like that's a real ass thing. So you start your day off and you're already just like impatient or not tolerant of other situations. You know what I'm saying? And so then you're going through and you're like, when people are like, oh, today's going to be a bad day. Well, yeah, you're creating the bad day.
Right. You're bringing that on to yourself.
Yeah. Then you wake up on the right side of the bed. Everything's good. You wake up. You're like, let me have a good cup of coffee. It's different. You're enjoying your coffee versus relying on your coffee. Right. You're like, damn, this coffee is good. Today's going to be a good day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Traffic is moving the same way it normally does, but you're just chilling in that lane. It's not bothering you. Your favorite songs are on. You know what I'm saying? You walking a little bit faster.
Little pep in that step, right? Just skipping a little bit.
Yeah, and it's same day, man.
It's tough.
And it's just like, it's the constant check. You got to check yourself. Damn, I done woke up on the wrong side of the bed the last 3 days. I need to think about this, right? You know what I mean? What is this thing, in the last like 3-4 years, I feel like it's became a household term. Affirmations.
Yeah.
Right? You have your affirmations. I remember like 5 years ago, if you said affirmation, people were like, what the heck are you talking about? Now everybody's talking about their affirmations.
A lot of people have more time to self-reflect.
But that's good.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I'm just saying, like, okay, so you have your affirmations. You don't even realize the things that are affirmations that you're saying to yourself. But you go through your affirmations and you hit them all, right? Cool. Now all of a sudden your days are better, your doors are opening. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I feel like mental health is like quicksand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like as soon as you step into that sand and you start freaking out about this sand.
You start fighting it.
And
it gets worse. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tell you just calm down
and so it's for me, it's like I get it. It's one of those things that you want to acknowledge and it's real and we want to focus on it. but I also think it's one of those things where it's like, don't, don't, don't suck yourself
Right.
in.
Don't
You
get
know
caught
what
in
I
the
mean?
quicksand.
Yeah, don't psych yourself out. You know, it's like anything else
Isn't that
in life.
how it always is, though? Isn't that always the
You know?
case? We psych ourselves out. We start to second
Yeah,
guess.
just slap yourself on
Right.
the cheek a few times and go for
We
it.
start to
You
second
know?
guess like our decision or like the movement. Right? No, it makes perfect sense.
Hmm.
Happens all the time. Happened to me a lot last year. And we talk about like mental health and all the people that that we go through, and sometimes all we kind of need is a hobby. So I understand why people were planting
Yeah,
trees and planting plants. I get it now, you know, because it was something that
yeah.
they did on their own. And like I really got into doing, like aquascaping, which is like it's not really about the fish, but more about like plants inside of a fish tank.
I'm
It's
sorry.
called
What?
aquascaping. Aquascaping.
Aquascaping?
Oh
There's a
yeah.
term for it.
It's a whole Japanese term,
Listen,
by the
people.
way.
So,
What?
listen to me. This is what I'm
What?
talking about. Different, different
Yeah,
points
yeah,
of
yeah.
views. Okay. John says he's
Yeah.
aquascaping.
It's
To me,
fish
he's
tanks.
building fish tanks that are
Yeah,
missing
yeah. They don't have
fish.
fish in it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, they just have shrimps and stamp.
So it's fine. I'm happy for this
Yeah.
dude. You know, his newfound hobby. But this is what
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
You know, like you just have to look at things properly. Nah, the plant thing I was a little surprised by, but I never really
Yeah,
knocked
yeah.
it.
A lot of people picked it up though.
I thought it was no, I thought it was a good thing. I have a friend, her name is Courtney, and she does her like I don't know if you ever seen me wear it before, but her thing is like I rap to my plants. And so that's like her logo. I rap to my plants. Her Instagram page, I think, is like Black Girl Green Thumb, something like
Nice.
that. If hopefully I'm not getting it backwards, but she kind of was one of those people that was like shining light to the plant people, I guess,
Yeah.
if you will. And she does cool stuff. She just did like I think it's her third version of sneakers and plants.
Oh, so she's like planting them in a sneaker. No?
No, she has a plant in her house in an original 1985.
Oh, does she
Jordan 1.
really?
So she does
Yeah,
that
yeah.
too. But then it's kind of bridging the two
Okay.
hobbies, sneakers and
Okay.
plants. So it's people who have
Right.
plants and then they're into
Mm-hmm.
sneakers. So like I was in I didn't really plan for it. Jackie shot the first version of it. And so we went there and then I was in one of the shoots. Because she told Jackie, bring your plants. Well, I mean, her plants are technically my plants. Look, if she gets to drive my cars, I can claim her plants.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying? So, so then, it was like me holding one of our bigger plants and then taking a picture or whatever. But anyway, my point is, I never really knocked it. But then I think during the pandemic, I realized that we needed hobbies that we could, one, do by
Right.
ourselves, and two, for a little bit, do within the comfort of your own home. So it was cool. And then as far as for mental health, I mean, anything that you can find therapeutic.
Right. That's the big thing.
It's like I don't know if you saw. I put on Instagram the other day that I found out that I like coloring,
I got
and so I
got a ton
remember
of coloring
when
books for you, bro.
Jackie bought me some like adult coloring books that are pretty cool. Some are just like crazy shapes and stuff, so it's a little weird for me. But anyway, it's
No
it started out like my kids were coloring, and it was like, "Dad, come color with me."
Right.
Like, all right, cool, I'll color with you. And then I'm like, "Oh, I kind of like this." And then we did a couple like paintings in the park, right? So like
I've
my
seen
wife
that.
bought
Yeah,
a few
yeah.
canvases, and then we would go and paint or whatever. So it was cool. But I didn't know that I liked it. And then I realized that it's one of the few things that I can do that gets my mind off stuff and doesn't frustrate me. So for example, like wrenching has always been my thing to like, that was therapeutic, right? Let me go work on my car in the garage. That also makes me want to like break shit though.
I follow you,
Cause I'm just
and
frustrated.
I've heard
You know
the
what I'm
tone of
saying?
your voice when you're working on a car. I'm like, oh, he's not happy right now.
Yeah. So, coloring it doesn't do that. And so anyway, what I'm getting at is I figured out that, I like that. I'm like, all right, this is cool, I guess. I got a buddy that does like random paintings. He's got canvases in his garage, and he'll just start painting. So it's like any hobby that you can have this therapeutic is definitely going to be helpful.
I think so.
Shit, I don't know. I think your hobbies can grow and become things that you didn't intend for them to be.
I screwed up and found like the U.S. distributor for like a company that I like their style and their products and whatnot. I found out they were like down the street. Well, not down the street, but they're in my city. And the moment I figured that out, it was a wrap. Because I'm like, I can get all this shit without having to like wait for someone to ship it to me. I can just walk in and buy it. All right. And so that became a problem.
You should ask them if they're
they actually are. No.
There you go. You see, you can go there and sell stuff and then have the biggest fish tank without fish that you could possibly want.
You should see the shit. Like, I mean, it's crazy. But if I do that, then y'all ain't never gonna see me again.
I like fish tanks. I just don't know how I feel about them not having
Well,
fish.
you can put little fishes. I just prefer not to deal with the fish.
Do you have
No, it's freshwater. So it's just all freshwater plants and stuff.
So you basically have a swamp.
No, they're not swamps, man. One day I'll show it to you.
Who jumps into a lake and says, "Wow,
well, no,
how beautiful these
the whole
plants are."
the whole thing that this came from is there's a Japanese guy who started making it like how Japanese meadows look like, with the mountains and the like grass, and that's what he does. He basically creates like a meadow in his fish tank.
You have to send me an updated pic because I've only gotten a pic like.
Oh no, yeah. No, these are my my learning of it, like how to do it and how to take care of it. Kind of like one has fish in it, so I can kind of see how that goes, and then the other one doesn't. It's more of once I feel comfortable, then I'm gonna jump into a big one, which is gonna go up behind me.
But you used to do fish tanks too, right? Like didn't you?
Saltwater,
saltwater?
This is different than saltwater.
Back in the day.
This is no saltwater. You kind of built like an ecosystem within a saltwater tank, right? It's the same kind of concept, but here they have designs and they have cats that compete in their designs of their fish tank. These guys make like mountains and like it's crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? How the hell did you do that? So there's.
This feels like a gamer's fish.
Nah, it's not a game. These guys that do it now, they're like hella JDM, like super Japanese, and. That whole term, but yeah, they have a terminology of they have how the Japanese have to do things a certain way, and like you have to be respectful of certain things, and they do the same thing. And it's crazy. I'm like, oh, this is actually a thing, and it just became like hey, cool. I think, like I said, I think the danger part was at the companies here, and so it kind of if they were not here, let's say they were in LA, I'd have been cool. I wouldn't have gotten that deep into the thing. Speaking of LA, before we log off tonight, I need you to share some things about my drive through LA. No, I want to share it with you. Yeah.
You want to share? Let's go for it right now. Go ahead, share this.
I understand why you get upset while you drive. Yes.
Oh, you do? People don't know how to drive.
I thought people don't know how to drive in the Bay. I thought people up here in the Bay Area and Northern California.
No, I'm trying to figure out if they just like started handing out licenses, like you didn't even have to take a driver's test during COVID or what.
So 3 times in my drive, I left San Diego 7 a.m. to drive back to the Bay, and I was going. San Diego was cool. There was some little whatever, but then when I got into like Tustin, all hell fucking broke loose. Dude, there was a Jeep, fixed up. Wasn't like a normal Jeep.
Yeah.
Exited. Didn't realize I don't want to take this fucking exit. And this fool like immediately goes left, and instead of
just pulled right back.
No, but he fucked it up, and so his right side just ended up going onto the median. So he's fucking rock crawling like sideways, and I'm sitting there like fucking dumbass.
Yeah.
Oh, and you have people coming from like
he doesn't even
right.
care.
No, and he got stuck. But then you also have people coming from the fast lane or the carpool lane. Oh shit! I need to go on this exit. Zoom all the way over, and I'm just sitting there like, now I know why David's pissed while he drives. I like, oh, I could have honked at that
Man,
person.
dude.
I could have honked at that person. I could have honked at that person.
So I got so frustrated that I finally fixed one of the problems.
Which one?
I feel like. So like I said before, my
Right,
truck
right.
is lifted, right? And I have like these the LED headlights.
Right,
They're,
right,
they're
right.
OEM. It's not like an aftermarket
Right.
LED headlight. They're OEM, but when I put the brand new headlights in, I guess they weren't
Oh,
aimed
how fun.
properly, so they were pointing
Right.
pretty high. Plus the
Right.
truck is lifted, but I lowered them
right.
down,
Makes sense.
and then it just lowered it perfectly so that it's like right in everyone's window. And so one of the frustrations that I had is that every time I was behind a car, they just slowed
Right,
down
right,
for
right.
no reason. And so then I was like, okay, this can't be a coincidence. People can't be this stupid. I think they're slowing down because they're irritated about my headlights. So then I was like, okay, I thought that I adjusted them as low as I could. And then I decided to just like crank it a little
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah,
You know
they
how
have
they
a
have
little,
like the
yeah,
wheels
they have
in
a
the
little
back,
adjust,
and they have like
little screwdriver.
you could put like a wrench on it,
Yeah.
or a screwdriver. I was doing it just very easily by hand at first, and then a little bit. But I was so irritated with this that I like
Oh man.
cranked the shit out of it, and I was like worried that I was gonna break
Right.
the light, you know. But it actually moved enough to get my headlights right out of people's
Yeah.
windows.
Yeah.
Most cars, and it stopped. So yeah, it was just people being assholes because they were like, "This guy's lights are too bright. I'm just gonna slow
Yeah.
down."
I remember that.
So that helped a little bit. But in the daytime, I don't know if it's just I honestly truly believe that people don't like when people have lifted trucks.
I think there's a stigma to it.
Like they just they associate like this guy's a fucking asshole, I'm sure. So they won't let me in. They want to slow down when I'm behind them. They want to cut in front of me versus getting
It's
behind
crazy.
me.
Why?
I'm the wrong person to do all that.
Exactly. Well, they don't know that. However,
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit that it's costing me $140 a week to put gas in my truck. I'm gonna slam on the gas, go around you.
oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I think that if I drove a Prius, I'd probably be less upset.
Nah, you know what? The one warning I have with being in a Prius, people don't look at you. People don't give a shit about you. So there's another stigma about Prius drivers.
Okay, you know what? I have to ask you this. You have
Right.
a Prius, right? Does the is there like a max speed of 66 miles an hour on
There's
the
a
Prius?
no, but there's a thing that Prius owners do, which they call gliding.
0 to 60? Is it like 10
No,
minutes?
so what they try to do is like there's a game that they play where they try to like aim for like the best. You know, they call it gliding. Yeah. So
Exactly.
fuckers
Get
glide.
the fuck out of here. So then why are you gliding in the carpool
Oh, they
lane?
do that all the time. Yeah.
Or the
yeah,
fast
yeah.
lane? Get your ass in the slow lane and glide all you
Oh
want.
yeah.
Is that what it's called? Gliding?
Because you're basically like throttling.
I'm about to make a sticker.
Stop gliding.
I'm about to make a sticker that says "Stop gliding in the
Well,
carpool
yeah,
lane."
because they're basically trying to feather the throttle so that you're getting less gas and more electric, you know, and then being able to like regenerate it after. It's a little. It has like it tells you like how good you're doing at it on your. Actually.
It makes me hate.
No,
Prius
and that's what I'm
owners.
saying. Like when you have a Prius, people don't give a shit about you. It's another stigma. That is the other stigma that Prius drivers don't drive fast.
It's not just Prius. It's all electric, hybrid.
You don't
all of
want
them.
to. Yeah, don't come to the Bay.
Cars.
Then everybody has a fucking Tesla or thing out here.
I feel like another thing that Tesla owners do is they don't brake. They decelerate.
I don't.
So what I'm getting at is, you know,
Yeah.
you've driven a Tesla, right? You take your foot off the
Yeah,
gas, it kind of
jerks. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It kind of jerks a little bit. So when there's like heavy traffic, I feel like Tesla owners will be 5 cars back, and instead of like getting
Yeah,
closer and braking, they just let their foot off the
yeah,
gas.
That sounds like.
And I'm just like, why are you doing this? You don't have any brake lights to show me that you're slowing down. Two, you're slowing down way before you need to.
Because if they're regenerating power, I don't know if they do that. Like Prius, that's how you regenerate.
I thought it regenerates more when you brake.
When you slow down. When you start to like decelerate. Like on a Prius, when you start to decelerate, it starts to regenerate. So not include braking included, of course. But so I don't know if Teslas.
They should make a law. Do that.
I don't know.
They should make a law that you can't glide.
It's worse in the city because like if you can glide it right, you're like at 35, 33 miles per hour all the way. It's crazy. We don't drive that way. No. We don't.
No, son.
I've done it where I've glided and I've hit like almost 50 miles a gallon doing that. But then when you drive it normally, it's like 38, 37 miles a gallon.
I'm getting 10 miles to the gallon right now. A Prius would just be to get better.
Yeah, dude. You don't even need to get a Prius. Just get a fucking Camry. Anything is better than a fucking 10 mile. I mean,
Well, I just got all the maintenance done on my M3, so I'm driving that. I mean, that gets better than 10 miles to the gallon. So
the motor's not too crazily done, right? Yeah.
No, there's no need.
Yeah, no. But you know how it is. People,
That's what I'm getting at. I don't like to have too many car conversations on here, but car people just like to modify things too much. Like it's like you already have an M3. Why do you need to touch all that shit? And then that's the guy that's slamming on the gas, slamming on the brake, slamming on the gas, slamming on the brake, all through traffic. It's like, yeah, I get it. Your car's a little faster than stock, but you can't do anything.
Or the
with
one
it.
that like backfires their exhaust as they go through a tunnel.
I hate that shit, dude.
I get it.
These kids these days make me not even want to like cars. They make me want to drive a Prius.
Now you're starting to talk like me, the grumpy old man that like talks about these.
I am a grumpy old man.
I say that about cars all the time. I'm driving and I'm
man.
like, look at that motherfucker with that. What the fuck is he doing to that car? And Michelle will look at me. She's like, you did that shit when you were 20. So don't say that.
Jackie tried to tell me that too because I'm trying to fight with the neighbor over here because this motherfucker always be driving like an idiot. And I already went and told him something. He's not really listening. You know, I don't do well when people don't listen when I ask nicely. So, and then Jackie's like, that's the same shit. And I said, no. I respect my neighbor. I always have. You respect your block. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. Especially I've had some weird conversation with car folks. Kind of nice not being like a car guy, I guess you can say. I've had you heard that conversation where a guy pulls up to my house. Well, my GS was out on the street, and he's like, "Hey, have you heard of this?" And like, I wasn't sure. He was like, I like VIP cars. Have you heard of Junction Produce? And have you heard of this?" And I'm looking at him like, "Are you trolling me on this?" Like, and he's like, "Oh, it's great. You know, like they make a dope kit for your car." And I'm like, "The car's orange. I don't."
I do that. I
just let it finish.
I like when people talk to me and talk to me about things I know about as if I don't know about them. It makes me feel very old, but
it made me feel very washed.
It's cool. I like to throw a few questions in there every once in a while.
He's like, "Oh, you should buy. They have a thing called a Fusa that you hang up there." And I looked at him like, "All right, well, I'll look into it. I will."
Lucky it wasn't me. I would have been like, "Wait, so you mean to tell me that you're just gonna put a knot?
What's the knot? What's the knot
somewhere in your car?" Yeah. What is this knot for?
This rope. The rope and the knot.
No,
it was like those kind of things. Like it starts to happen now more than ever, and I kind of like it personally. Kind of like being out of the shadow or in the shadows with it. You know, the car game is nice to not have to worry about it. So, but yet, you know, like I said, cars will always be a thing. It's always going to pop up in any of our conversations. Especially how we try to kind of it's frustrating sometimes when you drive through the city and you see someone blaring through. Like I get pissed off when I have these guys doing side shows in this neighborhood, in this quiet ass neighborhood, 2 or 3 in the morning. So
yeah, dude.
I woke up for that, but I didn't fucking wake up for a damn someone sawing out my damn catalytic converter.
You know what? I realized that I have another thing that I do that kind of bothers me. Have you played out that situation in your head if you would have woken up?
And you know what the most common thing that I always thought about? Yeah, but yes. all for the like till I think yesterday. I think yesterday is when it stopped.
Yeah, dude, that shit bothers
And the
me.
whole time, all I wanted to do was to jump in their car and drive it off.
I
Like
wouldn't
it's
have even
all
thought
I
to do
wanted to
that.
do.
That's
Like that's
smart.
all it ever came up. Like I just would wanted to jump into their car and then drive that shit away, and then like just leave it like in the middle of the major street here and walk home with the key in my pocket. You know, that's all I thought
Yeah.
about. Like, yeah, I thought about whooping their ass, but that's no fun.
I wouldn't have had enough self control to just be like, I'm just gonna jump in
No,
the
because
car.
you know what? I thought that it's a troll move. I guess I don't know. I don't know if I would have had the self control to do the same thing. I think I would have been in anger mode. You know, with everything that on my path to the door out, there are things for me to grab. There are purposely placed items along the way,
Mm-hmm.
purposely placed.
That's
Right,
everyone,
one by the
right?
bed. There's purposely placed. So
I would assume
yeah,
that's
that's how
everybody.
it is for me. And the very last thing that at the the hardest hitting things are by the door, and like man, it would have been easy to just it would have been it would have been all bad because in this day and age, if you beat the shit out of somebody, even though they were doing something wrong, you still fucking get arrested or sued.
Ask John how he
So
knows that.
so like you don't want to go through
Anyway.
that, right? You beat someone's ass, and they're like, you know what? I'm gonna sue you for it. What the
I-
fuck? You were robbing me. Like, let me just give you.
Yeah. So I have a semi controversial question to ask you that I
Semi
debated on if I even
semi
if I even want to bring it up.
controversial.
So I'm just gonna ask you straight up. Do you think that we should be allowed to carry concealed weapon?
Yeah. I'm like quickly. Yeah. Yeah. Shit will stop.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how help me understand the people who don't think that.
Yeah, because there's enough idiots out there to do something stupid with it. They don't think straight. There's a lot of people who aren't trained in, carrying, and they just do something stupid, right? You get cut off in a car.
But aren't those same people the same people who can just
Right.
have it on
And that's
them
the
now?
thing. Their thought process is different. I think it's different if everyone has if a lot of people are carrying, let's say a carrying concealed weapon, if you have enough nice guys carrying. This is a very controversial topic, yes. But I think most cats won't get bold to rob your ass or to act a fool when they have to decide if someone is carrying.
So,
Right.
I kind of made a comment about this on
Did you?
Instagram, and it was out of frustration. Yeah, I mean, honestly, when it comes to things where people can have
That is a
very opinionated
very
feelings about it, I try to just not
yeah.
even
No,
comment
I
on
agree.
it. But it was out of frustration because it was the day that there was that shooting in
Oh, yeah.
Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
In the train station. So that's a very frustrating situation for me. I just feel like, come on. But then there's also the part of me that, you can call me crazy if you want, and a conspiracy theorist, but I believe that this government really does shit in certain ways. How can I say this without sounding
Fear-mongering?
absolutely crazy? This government actually does. Yes. Yeah. Okay. There you go. They do fear mongering, right? So how convenient is it that at a time when you're trying to push stricter gun laws, is it that now you have this crazy shooting in a train station in Brooklyn? You know what I mean? So that part's frustrating. Right. So I kind of said something on that. But I also feel that in a place like New York, okay? So we live in California, in a place like New York, and a place like Chicago. These are all places where you're not allowed to carry a gun around, right? But it's like the worst places to live in that sense. So it's like, who doesn't see that? Somebody's got to see that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. What I'm getting at is, and so I had a lot of comments back on my Instagram that made me realize a lot of people I know have a gun
Yeah?
on them all the time, which I was honestly a
Really?
little bit surprised about because of some of these people. Like I would never even think they'd
I would
have a gun
never.
or would want to use one or feel the need to or have the
I would never
courage
admit
to
it.
or
I would never
whatever.
admit it to you.
Um, right.
I would never admit it.
I guess there's the part of me that, based on my experiences
You're right.
with police, that has always feared carrying a gun on me.
It makes
You know
sense.
what I'm saying? So I feel like if it was legal to carry a gun on me, then it would be good. And I think that in situations, and I say this all the time, and nobody can really say for sure or for certain until we're in those situations. But I've always said that, like, us as a group, if we were out and things happen, we're not going to just sit there and let them happen or watch them happen.
That's not my nature.
So my thing is, if we are
You're right.
somewhere and some people start shooting all crazy and every single one of us has a gun on us and we're allowed to have a gun on us and we have the ability to use these guns, how can it not
No,
help
I
the
agree.
situation?
I completely agree with that. Like, I would love to carry, all the time. But the answer, I'm not. This is not my thought process, but this is where I kind of like understood. We give, in the topic we said earlier, we give licenses to drive a car to just random ass right? And they're supposed to get proper training. They're supposed to get like a class to use the car, and they still drive like shit. So I think with if people are carrying, if the random folks are carrying shit, I think a lot of people won't understand how to properly use, hold, and carry. You have cats who put their guns in their waistband and shoot themselves in the leg in a club. Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people won't understand how to carry. There's people who walk around with, there's a proper way to handle a loaded firearm, right? How you point it, where your finger sits, safeties and all that. A lot of cats, they put their finger inside the trigger right off the bat on a feather trigger, and it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you don't realize, like, you could just like jerk and then your squeeze trigger will.
I guess the way that I look at it, and this is why I even have these questions, right? I guess the way I look at it is, if we're talking about the shitty Prius owner who doesn't know how to drive, the worst case is that he's going to
hit something else. Target. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Or
and that's
someone
the thing.
Else. Is that the argument? So we're not all allowed to have guns because there might be the idiot that's going to shoot the wrong person.
And I don't even say it's like an idiot. I think it's just like, there's still luck to this. I think there's still a lot of that. Right.
Okay, but then there's also the criminal who's shooting, who's going to kill more people because no one's shooting back at him.
I've seen, and you've seen videos of like someone who's carrying, ending a situation. Right. They have that. They see that shit all the time online. Right.
Now imagine 10 people.
That's
who
the
are
thing.
carrying.
I think once people realize that other people are carrying, I think the stupid shit will stop, because they're like, is that dude carrying? If they know they can get clapped back, a lot of folks won't fire. Right? A lot of these cats aren't going to fire back, or aren't going to even start firing knowing that someone can clap back at them.
It's just very frustrating. Living in California, and especially having a family, it's frustrating. Look, if I was only worried about myself getting shot, hey, you know what? Whatever. But if I got to worry about my wife and kids getting shot, like, that's where things change.
It's tough.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the
the
frustration.
There's also a lot of obsessions with guns too that kind of fucks it up for a lot of people. A lot of people get too obsessed with it, and it kind of just blows it out of proportion. It is a very controversial topic, and I try to see both sides of any topic, right? So I get why people want to, and I get why people don't want to.
That's the point of our podcast.
But I want to look at both sides. I don't want to be just one-sided on every argument. I have my feelings.
Yeah, I don't. Even if I feel strongly about one side, I still want to know the other side. Like, that's always been my approach. I have a lot of friends that are very like this is the right way,
right.
and I don't
This
give
is
a
the
shit.
only way.
You know what I mean? And to me, it's just like we're gonna always be right here in the middle until we can understand both, and then maybe by understanding this, you can actually get the outcome that you want in a way that it benefits both people or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That's just a way to always look
Well,
at it. But
controversial topic. Very
I
controversial.
just always have that fear of like shit when if I get pulled over, I'm just like, damn.
Well, I
you know
mean,
what I mean? Where I feel like some people are just like, I know my rights, and I'm gonna search for my gun and blah blah blah, and it's like, okay, maybe you've never had your car searched for
a lot
no
of
reason.
experiences that
You
people
know what I
have
mean?
isn't the same as what you and I have had. Right. So, you're right. A felon stop in a car, not fun, not fun at all. Even if you don't do anything, you just have tinted windows, you get a felon stop. So, right, I get it.
Yeah.
That shit ain't fun.
So, even this,
For what?
I just got a ticket recently, and the cop he was a
No, but what?
motorcycle cop. It was for switching in
Really?
lanes in and out
Oh.
of the carpool, not when designated.
You got caught on that. Yeah, you're one of those guys.
Yeah, I knew I would. I told myself.
Did
that,
you even see him first?
That it.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
I don't
All
know
right.
where this dude came from, bro. And that's the thing that I'm just like not understanding at all. But I told myself as of recently, I was like, look, if you get if you get pulled over for this, don't be mad the day you get pulled over. But where I was already getting kind of annoyed was like, dude, it was a motorcycle cop. He pulled me over, old mug on his face, and his fucking swung his leg over his fucking motorcycle. I was like, like it was a stallion, right? And walks over, license registration, right? And the thing is that right when I heard the like bloop, I was like, oh shit. I had the girls in the car, so I had the right to be in the carpool lane. But I was like, I'm getting pulled over. And then they're like, what? What's going to happen? I'm like, it's fine. I'm just going to get a ticket. Don't worry about it. Brooklyn is a very anxious person. She gets very upset easily. So she's like crying, right? And he comes to the window and he's like, license registration. And he looks at her and she looks at him in like fear. I'm like, it's okay, baby. I'm like, he's a good man. He's just here to help. And I was like, right? I told the cop, and then he was like, yeah, it'll be just really quick. Yeah, his whole demeanor changed right away. But in my head, I was like, if I didn't have these little girls in the car, what, you were just going to be a fucking asshole? I'm like, I get it. Yeah, I shouldn't have crossed the lane, but that's what this system is made for.
Let's
Give me
get
the fucking ticket. Let's move on. You know what I mean?
You're in the Sequoia.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. You're also a big ass car, so he can see that shit.
Yeah, I know. It was at a place where there shouldn't be any cops looking around. I don't know where he came from, dude. He had to just be scooting. Nah, I was on the 605. He had to just be scooting through traffic or something, and I just didn't.
They probably saw you switch.
Yeah. It was in a day. It was a day I wasn't even looking either, though. Like I was just irritated, and I just like literally was just like,
that makes
right
sense.
into the carpool lane.
Yeah.
So
I don't. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like, a lot of people. That's kind of. I mean, that's a freaky situation for a lot of people, and I can understand how Brooklyn felt, especially as what she sees now. I mean, I don't know like exactly what her views are, but a lot of times,
I don't.
Right,
I don't
and so
hide
she sees,
anything from her,
what
you know
she
what I mean?
perceives a cop stop is not fun, right? I'm sure that's what she sees on the news, and that's what she sees,
But I always try to make sure that they understand that
Right.
cops are here to help us. You know, the police are good people. They're here to help us, despite what you hear in media, and despite of whatever current situation might be going on in the world. Like, police are here to help us. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we do.
And I have friends that are cops, and she knows them. So it's like, but she still has this idea of like,
right. Like, what are we
cop?
gonna, what
You know what I
roll
mean?
of the dice are we getting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. That makes sense. And
Yeah.
good for her for having some awareness, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminds me, I have some starter decks. I know this is off topic, but I have starter decks for the girls to play with for Pokemon cards. I'll bring them this week.
Oh yeah.
No, I got it.
still
So they have a
have it,
full
man.
starter deck that they can actually use to
Okay.
play. and all that stuff. And I think I'll have some stuff from Kai too to give to the girls. Get some Pokemon. We gave away a lot of Pokemon stuff today too.
Nice.
I was like, here, take this, bye. Take this. Yeah, man, yeah.
Oh,
Man,
I
we have
bet.
so much Pokemon card stuff. I know we need it out of the house. But anyways, no, like that's good for Brooklyn. For at least you did the right thing of quelling her fears. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I try to.
Yeah.
In anything, you know what I mean. I try to because she's definitely a very fearful person. You know, I have yet to understand where that stems from, but reassurance.
Man,
Always
sometimes that
helps
might be
fear,
something
you know?
locked deep down inside us that we don't realize we have. You know, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it's just who knows. I've like we talked about with that whole like when we told Keone about the whole like car thing getting hit. Keone was like, "Oh, whatever." Does that change my day? No, okay. But Kai's first response was like, "I want to beat them up." I was like, that was Kai's first response. I'm looking at him like, what are you gonna do? You're 8. What the fuck are you gonna do? But that his response was like, you don't take from my mom. And so like that was kind of like I never taught him that.
It shows you what kind of
Yeah.
It shows you what kind of person he's gonna be because I've been this way since I was
Right.
Before I was 8. My mom's told me too, like that would be a typical.
And I looked at him like,
that I would have.
I didn't teach you that.
You know what I mean?
Like I never like taught you. I've always taught you that you can defend yourself, but do the right things first before take the right steps before you take the physical defense. And so but yeah, so it's nice to hear that that at least you did a good thing of like reassuring her on it, because that way she doesn't. Because that's usually what cops pick up, right?
Yeah.
Like they're freaked out. What are they gonna do? But if it's a little 6-year-old kid, they're not gonna freak out. But if you're 27 years old and you freak out like that, they feel like you become jittery. Yeah, what
Why
you
are you
hiding?
scared?
What you holding? What you got?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. We have enough cop friends. I hear the stories from them all the time when they come over and talk. Oh man, this shit happened. I'm like, oh shit. All right, well that's why I would never be a cop.
It's the first time in a while too that I've gotten pulled over by a cop that felt like he was older and was going to be a little bit judgy right off the bat. Typically, they're closer in age to me, and I feel like it's one of those like, eye to eye. You know what I mean? So I was kind of like, this is interesting.
On the 605 too, huh?
Yeah.
There was a lot of CHP when I was driving that Friday. A lot.
Oh, there's a lot, especially on the 605.
A lot of fives.
There's always a lot of CHPs.
I was like, oh, there's a lot. And I wasn't like flying. I was just driving like normal. But yeah, it was just crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
LA wasn't as bad. Traffic wasn't that bad, surprisingly. Just people can't drive. So, but yeah.
Yep. I have another thing that I wanted to ask you. It's kind of off topic, but it's just something that came to mind. And it's also one of those things where I'm like on both sides of it, so it always makes it interesting. But when it comes to social media, how do you feel about these like official days, right? So it's
Pancakes?
Like, I'll give you an example. So no, those are all lame. Don't even get me started on that kind of shit.
This is the official day of pancake.
I'm talking about more so, not even necessarily official day, but just like National Sunday, right? Do you feel like you have to post your son?
No.
On National Sons Day?
I don't even post my sons on their birthdays.
Yeah, but that's because you're a private person.
10 years ago it would have been different.
Let's.
I would have done it.
I have moments where I get like excited. I'll see it and I'm like, oh, I got a picture of the girls I want to post. It's like, Daughter's Day. Yeah, let me post my daughters. And then I have days where I'm like, why the fuck do I have to post my daughters just because it's Daughter's Day?
I don't. Yeah, I don't even post. I mean,
you know what I mean?
I've been doing a lot more stories lately because they go away in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Same. I like that, but I don't know. To me, it's like a very just. Is dumb to even think about, but I thought about it because it was National Women's Day. That's the reason why it kind of bothered me.
I remember, yeah.
okay, so now I remember what brought this
National
thought
Women's
on.
Day.
It
I
was
remember that
National
was like 2
Women's
weeks ago.
Day. And I had a moment where I wanted to like write this whole thing and post my wife
Right.
and my daughters.
Right,
Women have
right.
always been very important to me.
Right,
Raised
right.
my mother, you know what I'm saying? Been my wife
Mhm.
20 years and 2 months. And I
Right.
have 2 girls. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, you know, there is no greater than the woman, you know? So now we have National Women's Day. And it's like, part of me was excited. Like, it's National Women's Day. I want to show support, blah, blah. And then the second that I went to go post, I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, it just feels weird. Like, why am I going to do this today? Just because
Right.
today is the day
Right. Why
that's
can't you
been
do it
designated for
another
women.
random day? Right.
Right. So then I didn't post. It just bothered me. But it doesn't normally bother me. But in that
Right.
moment, it
I think you
bothered
just
me.
didn't want to be told when and what to do. Maybe that's how you felt.
Well, it's even like when they have these different ethnic months or days or whatever. Sometimes that bothers me too, because I feel like what we only gonna celebrate on this day.
We're only going to sell it for these days, right? Heritage Night or whatever. Yeah. No, it
Right.
makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I get it. Like, you should be celebrating Women's Day every day. Right? But I know it makes perfect sense. But I think also our feeds would get so convoluted if we did it that way. I think
Right. So to bring it back, the question is: should we appreciate these designated days of anything,
I get it.
or should we not buy into it?
The way I look at it personally is, I appreciate it. Would I be involved in it? No. At least now, the way I think now. At least just the way I am feeling. However, that could change in a year. In a year from now, I could just be
Right.
like, F this, and I'm going to show everybody everything, right?
I think National Women's Day, like 2 years ago, whatever I did,
Right.
what I said.
And right,
I
you can do it
wanted
every
to
year.
do.
I don't know. I get it. And
So-
a lot of times, too, I always felt like it's kind of like the same idea with Easter, Valentine's Day, Christmas. They're retail holidays, right?
Man, Valentine's.
It's a
Day
retail
is
holiday. That could have been
that's
it,
where
right? Because
started at for
I
me.
mean, that was like what, a couple months ago, and it's just like, if you don't buy anything for your significant other, you're fucked, right?
But then I also have milestones. Like, I'm big on milestones. Like this year, like I said, it's
Right.
going to be our 20-year anniversary. And it's like a big deal for me.
But
Like, I want everybody to know.
But that's
like, oh,
20
shit, we've been
years.
together
That's
20
different.
years.
National's Women's Day or whatever, it happens every year,
Yeah.
right? Your 20th anniversary only happens
Yeah.
once. So I mean, that's a little different.
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit more of a weight issue, and I think the weight of your 20-year anniversary is a lot heavier than. I'm not putting a knock on National Women's Day. I'm glad that we celebrate it, and I'm glad that we take the time to do that, because I understand why we do it. Is because if we didn't do it, it'll fall through the cracks. Right.
Then they wouldn't have. Yeah.
Right.
Then they wouldn't get appreciated. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
that's what I'm getting at. I'm a firm believer in having these days, months, weeks to, I mean, let's be real, to appreciate the
Right.
minority in the situation, right? So women being the minority, because for the longest time they've taken a back seat and nobody's wanted to, treat them as good as the man. So I
No, it
don't
makes
want to
sense.
knock these days because I feel like they're very important. But then there's times when I feel like it doesn't
I think
have
that's
to
more
happen
for-
just on
yeah.
these days. And I don't need to be one of those people just
I
doing
agree,
it on
because
these
you're also,
days.
you think about that too. So I think it's okay that you don't do it on that main day and just do it on a different day. I think that's okay. Well, I mean, like
Yeah.
I said earlier, it's like National Pancake Day. Oh, I'm going to go show my pancakes.
Yeah.
Or I only said that because I had pancakes.
Yeah. I could only
Right.
eat pancakes on this day.
And I'm going
I
to
can't
post
eat
about my
the
pancakes
other
on
day.
this day. But and I get that. Like, they have National so-and-so day.
Yeah.
National, I don't know. Fuck.
The thing that I don't like about national days, so like I remember one time my mom called me and she was like, "Oh, it's National Sons Day," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Is
Who
it?"
made that?
She was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." So then I looked up National Sons Day, and there was like
That's
three
what I'm
different
saying.
dates for
Yeah.
National Sons
Who
Day.
makes
So
that?
then I felt like I was like, okay, well, don't forget to call me on the other 2 days too. Like, I just, I don't know. So then for me, it's like I don't like these national days. You know, it was
Right.
National Beer Day the other day, and I coincidentally was at a brewery, and I was like, if it's National Beer
Right.
Day, why
Right.
isn't
Right.
everybody here drinking
No,
beer?
I know they have a lot of those. National Hamburger Day,
So
Cheeseburger Day. Yeah, I don't know. I
yeah,
don't get it. I get like I get 420, which is coming. I think it's like tomorrow or something. Sometime soon. Oh, 3 days now.
not 3 days.
That's a thing here too. 420
Yeah,
in the city is and oh
420 has been a thing
they
for a very long
but no,
time,
yeah, I get it.
I
No, but
guess.
I
But
mean I don't post that. I don't know. I feel bad too because I don't know if that maybe they're just the kids are used to it or Michelle's used to it. But I don't really post any of that.
I have another friend who has a very similar name who doesn't post his wife or children a lot.
Does it bother
And I
him?
feel like his wife,
That he
it's
does.
not her favorite thing. It's not her favorite thing
Oh,
that he
oh,
doesn't do that. But then I have to explain that you have to
right.
understand the person that he is. It's just not his way
Right.
of
It
doing
may have been
things.
the
You know what I
way
mean?
back then.
And so it's another one of those things where
Right,
it's like
right,
I
right.
understand
No, I
both
get it.
sides. I get, the wanting the
Right, right.
appreciation post,
The Mother's
but I get the
the Mother's Day
privacy is
post,
not
right?
posting.
I get it. I get it. I don't know. For me, social media just it changed things for me. We've talked about this a million times how I view social media now, and I don't.
Hmm.
I want people to celebrate what they're doing. Like I want to see your vacation photos. I want to see your Coachella photos. I want to see those.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't. I'm not the type of person to be like, ugh, that person's oversharing. I don't want to see that. No, or that person's bragging. No, if you feel that way,
Right.
then that's something on you, not on them. I think that's. But I feel like if
Right.
I want to celebrate something, I'm going to directly hit the people I want to celebrate it with, right? So if it's something I celebrated with you. I'm gonna directly hit you with it. I'm not gonna, post it for everyone to see. Like birthdays,
I mean,
like right, yeah,
I have moments where I try to use it as
right,
a reminder. You know what I'm saying? And for me to take the time to post, it usually is
right,
the best way to get my thoughts out because I'm not, other than this podcast, I'm usually not as vocal
right,
with my feelings, right? So then when I sit down and take the time to make a post and start to write something, my thoughts will usually come
right,
out. So that's why I make those posts. But I also feel like if I'm in the moment and enjoying the day and doing a bunch of stuff, then why stop that
right.
moment to make the post?
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? If there just wasn't time for it, then there wasn't time for it. And
Well,
I don't know.
It's like how we deal with
It
birthdays,
is what it is. So
right?
I like to use it as a
Right.
reminder.
You do,
Yeah, I like birthdays. I like posting about birthdays,
right? Because then it
but
goes
that's why I
away.
like the stories.
Yeah.
It's here for the
Right,
birthday,
and
and
that's the
it's
thing.
done.
Like for
You know
me,
what I'm
if
saying?
it's someone's
Yeah.
birthday, I'm going to reach out to you directly and tell you happy birthday myself, personally. Right? I kind of like
Happy
that.
birthday. I
Right.
so I do too, but the point of sharing the birthday for myself is I
Right.
like to share that love, right?
Right.
So
Right.
if it's your birthday,
And I
post
appreciate
it's
that.
your birthday, then for the
Right.
friends that didn't realize it was your birthday because maybe they don't
Right.
know
Makes
you
sense.
as well as I do, right?
Right.
It's like, hey, it's John's birthday. Go out and wish him a
Yeah.
happy birthday, and that's why I literally post
Yeah.
that
That
now
it's
sometimes.
your
Don't
wording
forget
is
to wish
different,
him a
right?
happy birthday. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
mean,
So
who knows? I mean, that's just
yeah,
we had a good friend whose birthday just passed. Yeah, I just wished him directly. I didn't post it. Right. But and I get it.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when your birthday shows up, what are we gonna do? right? I mean, that's exactly
on a
like
plane,
what are we gonna do? Like, I don't know if I can post anything. Are we on a plane that day? Are we coming home that day? It is the day we come home, huh? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was this.
I get
Oh
to
no,
spend
that's
my
right. It's
birthday
the 20.
flying home.
Okay. I'm not gonna say the date yet. I'm not gonna say it out loud on the podcast. But I was thinking about that. Is it when we fly or are we there? I thought it was the event date, but no.
Yeah, so we fly
Oh
home.
man, we gotta fly this
we
weekend.
fly
I'm not
home.
ready.
Yeah, I'm not enjoying the fitment of stuff in my new suitcase.
Because it doesn't expand.
It's not going well. Yes, because it doesn't expand. I didn't realize how important that
Yeah, I don't
expansion
know.
was.
I only have like I like my suitcase. You know, I don't.
I mean, if mine
Yeah.
would have kept,
I'm actually gonna
working,
bring
I would
more.
like mine too.
Another pair of shoes. Bring extra this time. Normally I only bring one, right? Normally I just bring my Ultra Boost.
Check you out.
I'll bring something else today. I don't know why. Don't know.
Yeah, so I got to figure out what I'm going to pack. Start packing.
We were supposed to go to Great America the Thursday before I leave.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? That's like your.
It's over by
Mountain or
next.
whatever.
It's literally next door to. Nah.
You're not going to anymore.
I don't know.
Why?
We lost a lot of like wanting to do fun things when our shit. When we went through what we went through this weekend. It was a lot of stress, a lot of like moves to do that was like, all right, fuck it, we're just gonna do this. Like, there was a lot of that. So it kind of took the sails out of the wind out of the sails, per se. Right. Kids are on spring break. So like, we were like, you know what, let's just chill out. Let's not worry about doing that. Let's just kind of sit and just relax, because it happened at a time when we still had to do Easter. Like Easter's a big thing for us, for this family. And what we do with, how we deal with Easter. So, at one point we thought we weren't going to have a way to bring all of our stuff to the Easter celebration. That's the whole reason why I took the trip real quick, because I couldn't get a rental car. Like literally could not, unless I went to the airport to get it. But,
Right.
And at that point it was cheaper for me to just fly down to San Diego and grab a ride from that, so. But no, so yeah, we weren't going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I was down. Do Great America. Do a quick theme park. Kind of get into the mood of traveling. And then
I'm not in the mood, man. It's not the traveling part. I'm not in the mood to like
still not ready for that,
deal
huh?
with so many people. No, man. It's gone.
Well, we don't deal with a lot of people in our day-to-day like we used to. Right? Well, now it's just kind of like we've been kind of dealing with our close circle and then dealing with, the inner workings of that close circle. Yeah. We don't have to deal with external circumstances. We did this monthly for many years. And so like it was kind of, we had a groove and that groove has been taken away, so like it makes sense. Yeah. It makes perfect sense. But either way, we will be flying. I hope we eat pizza. We're gonna have the. Are we gonna have the argument of New York versus Chicago pizza?
What? Nah, it's two completely different things. It's fine, but we're gonna have pizza for sure because it's Dougie's first time in Chicago. I mean, you gotta have Chicago pizza in Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
So we're gonna have it for sure. I know that we.
No, I love it. I love deep dish pizza.
Like over it, but if it's someone's first time, we're gonna do it for sure. I love it. I just don't love how it makes me feel. So I'm either gonna get the kids' personal pan or live it myself.
Bring
to one
some medicine for this trip then, if we're going. I'm most likely. I'm probably. I don't know. Am I rooming with you again? I don't know. Fuck.
Shh. Yeah, but you definitely make.
I got to bring some medicine on this trip.
Stop.
I mean, for those who are close to me, know.
I'm over here trying to figure out what shoes to pack because I'm like, do I want the shoes that look good or do I want the ones that feel good? Right. I've got to be on my feet the entire day.
No, and that's why I only wear Ultra Boosts. I don't want to have to think about that anymore. Yeah. And I'll buy the same pair colorway all the time. The whole Steve Jobs syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah. But I bought shoes that are not.
I know.
I showed it to
I
you.
love it. It's a great thing. Yep.
I don't know if I'm gonna bring them.
I'm excited to see you in those shoes.
They're a little bright, dude. I put them on.
Oh.
I put them on. I'm like, what the fuck did I buy these for?
Yeah, they are.
I don't think I can.
I wanted to see how you're.
I'm old and washed. I can't pull off the cool shit anymore. I just want to wear one brand only.
Man, come on. Anyway. Yeah, no, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You get tired of it, though. I got tired of that. But for those listening at home, please let us know your thoughts. We have an email address, huh? We should probably share the email address and maybe have people communicate that way instead of Instagram. But anyway.
We have multiple.
It seems like you guys like listening to just me and John talk, but there are some guests that I have in mind that I kind of want to ask to come on. It's just been one of those things where I've been kind of holding it off. I have a very exciting guest that I want to bring on at some point. It's just going to be overload for those of you listening. He is a very fast talker. He shoots out a lot of information at once. It can get hard to follow, but dude's got stories like
those are great.
Been alive for 150 years.
And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see. We're gonna start getting into some guests. Sorry for the inconsistencies. I've been very busy. Oh, that's what I forgot to mention.
How fun!
My kids started playing soccer. We can save that for the next one.
Oh,
but
you know
it's
what?
been fun, but it's 3 times a week.
I got extra like shin
been
pads
very
that are not
busy.
used. I should bring them. Yeah. Don't they wear shin guards?
I mean, they don't really need them, but yeah, bring them.
Yeah, but I got nice like Adidas ones.
They have some though.
No, but they're just sitting
What,
here.
they
No,
don't
I mean
have
like
nice
they're not.
Adidas ones?
They're like wasted.
You think-
Like they're just sitting. Kids, they were Kai's.
Are
They were
they
supposed
kids
to
or
be for Kai.
men's?
Like I bought him
Oh.
like a lot of shin guards, different
Okay.
sizes, but now they're just like he doesn't care for soccer anymore.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I think they're
maybe
bigger,
a
so they're
different
not going to
size,
be
so
ones
they'll
that they
come
can
in
wear
handy.
now. But I'd rather just put them in a
Right,
place where they
perfect.
have a potential to be used, and if not, just pay it forward. Find someone else's kid who's playing soccer and give it to them. No.
You're right. I was just kind of talking shit
No.
because you made it sound like my kids had cardboard. For
You
shin
know what?
guards.
And I wouldn't be surprised if people do put together cardboard for shin guards.
Hey, if you're using cardboard for shin guards,
Can you see that?
that's fine. You have
Oh,
something.
you can't.
Don't worry about it.
No.
Anyway,
You can't see the 3D print I did
Yeah.
of our logo. Oh well. It's too white. I'll print it a different
it's
color.
too white.
But no, yeah. No, because I think
Move it.
I
Move
put
it.
it close. Oh yeah, right here.
Zoom out. Put it by your face.
No.
No, I definitely cannot see it still.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, there it
Yep.
is. Yeah,
I was messing with 3D.
there it is.
But yeah, like
cool.
I'll bring some stuff. If it fits in my luggage.
Okay.
Oh, that's true too. You know,
I don't know
actually,
if
you
it's
know
gonna
what?
fit in mine, but we'll
I'd
see.
rather
I'll
just
let
they
you know
get-
how that goes in the next 2 days.
I'd
Nah, we got boxes.
I'd rather
that we
they
can
get
put it
Pokemon
in
cards
and get it back
first.
over here, so it's fine.
I think the decks are gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Either way, I'll get it.
If
back.
not, we'll just throw it
I'll
away,
get
'cause
back.
I'll-
Don't worry about it.
Throw it away anyways.
Anyway. No. Anyway, so
Thank you, everyone.
yeah. Thank you guys. Let me know what you think. Your opinion on Will Smith, mental
CCWs.
health, daily struggles, CCWs.
Oh, gliding?
What did you call that in the Prius?
Prius
Flooding?
drivers that glide.
Gliding in the Priuses.
Headlights that are like improperly leveled.
Yeah, lifted trucks,
Oh man, what a
all
smorgasbord of information today.
all of that. I have no idea how I'm going to write up the summary of this podcast episode.
All right, but everyone, thank you for listening.
Anyway, thank you guys.
No.
Hopefully it won't be that long
It's
until
too
we
fun
do this
not
again.
to.
Thank you. I know, right?